in front the entire time. But yeah, Jess, I'll let you take it away. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so people can see you properly.
All right, thanks, Ruth. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all. So yeah, I'm Jess. I'm a chiropractor and I work at Harrow Chiropractic, and I actually live in Surrey as well, like some of you. I live in Dorking. I'm really looking forward to today. I'm going to go through, I'll go through what chiropractic is all about, and then I'm going to go through what a perfect posture is all about, our standing posture and a sitting posture. And then I'm going to go through lots of lovely stretches we can do to help stretch our spine, all the joints in our spine, and some breathing stretches too. And then hopefully at the end we can go through any questions anybody's got. If anyone's got any questions throughout, just unmute yourself and ask me any questions. Or if any of the stretches just feel a little bit uncomfortable, then just ease off and don't push it too much. Okay? Right, I have got my spine to show you a little bit more about the spine. So as a chiropractor, Ruth, are you recording? Yeah, you are. Brilliant. Okay, so as a chiropractor, my job is to make sure that our nervous system is working to its very best. The nervous system controls every single thing in the body. So if the nervous system isn't functioning to the best, the body can't work to its very best. So the brain is communicating with the whole body through the spine. So the spinal cord is sending all those messages around the body to make sure everything's working to its best. So basically the quality of our life is through how our spine is working. So all the way down the spine, we've got joints. So there's 24 joints, and every single one should move nice and freely. But if any tension builds in those joints, then that can have an effect on how that nervous system's working. And obviously tension can build in the spine from poor posture, from our habits that we do every day of sitting, carrying heavy bags, sleeping in bad positions, looking after babies and children, but even mental emotional stresses that can cause us to tighten up. And even what we're eating can have an impact on how our spine and our nervous system is working. So that's why having a perfect posture and keeping our spines really mobile is so important for how our whole body is working. Okay, so let's go on. I know that it's Mental Awareness Week, but it's actually National Spinal Awareness Week this week as well. So perfect timing with this. Right, let's go through then, first of all, our perfect posture. I wanted to do it all standing first. So just watch me, or if you all want to do it together, it's probably better because then you get the feel of what it should feel like. We'll do it standing first, and then I'll also show you what a perfect posture should be when we're sitting as well. Right. So when we're standing, I hope everyone can see me all right. Our feet, we should be nicely feel grounded down onto the floor. So everyone just, if you've got your shoes on, take your shoes off, and hopefully take your socks off too. And you should have your feet directly underneath your hips and feel where your weight is in your feet. So is all your weight on your toes? Is all your weight on your heels? You should feel it's about 50-50 between your toes and your heels. So not too far forwards and not too far back. Okay, so nice and balanced there. What I want you to think about is drawing up through the insides of the legs. So we're kind of pulling those muscles, imagine you pulling them up. And what you'll feel is, you should feel your pelvic floor muscles contract, but also what should happen is the insides of your feet, those inside arches, can also just slightly lift up when you pull those muscles up. And that's a perfect posture, that's a perfect base for our posture. So what a good thing to do now is think about our tummy alignment. So if we all put our thumbs just on our lower ribs and our little fingers on the front bones here of your pelvis, you can see that all right. And imagine these are like your measuring sticks. So we want your measuring sticks to be nice and long. We don't want them to be short, okay? So if they're short, we'll slump in. If they're nice and long and open, we've got a good posture. So always think about where your measuring sticks are and how long they are. So if we continue up, we should have a perfect straight line from our ankle bone up through our knee and up to our hip. So if you think about then our knee alignment, we don't want our knees too bent. We also don't want our knees extending back too much. So nice straight line up to our tummy. Now, really important to think about where our shoulders are. So we obviously want to make sure our shoulders are nice and level. If we look in a mirror, it's great to see, and maybe you can see on the Zoom screen now, is one shoulder higher than the other. The amount of people that we see in the practice, one shoulder is higher than the other, it's often because we carry a bag on one shoulder, or we're using a mouse on one side and we keep rotating that shoulder around. So have a look at your shoulders, making sure they're nice and level. And we want to try and make sure that the shoulder blades are being pulled back and down. The way I like to think about it is you're putting your hands down into a back pocket, and that will draw those shoulder blades back and down. Another way to think about it is you're trying to take your shoulder blade down into a V shape, kind of down towards the spine where your brow strap would be. So hands down into those back pockets, and then you want to think about drawing up through the back of the neck. We want to try and have that chin more tucked in and long through the back of the neck. So our perfect posture is not chin up. I think we're all kind of told that by our grandparents, chin up, good posture, but actually it should be more lengthening through the back of the neck and chin more tucked in. Think about drawing the shoulders back and down, lengthening up, and that's your perfect posture. The ear should be directly, therefore, on top of your shoulder. The head shouldn't be going forwards. Okay? Everyone feel good doing that? It's also known as a power pose. So you should all feel really powerful doing it. There's some amazing research by Harvard University showing that when you do a power pose, it actually changes your hormone levels. So therefore, when we do a power pose, it actually increases our testosterone levels and decreases our cortisol levels. Our cortisol levels are all the stress hormones. So having a perfect posture reduces our stress. Testosterone is not just for guys, it's for women as well. We need it to have a healthy life. The research also showed when we slump, so when we come out of that good posture, it reverses it. So it increases the stress hormone and decreases testosterone. So when you want to feel less stressed, stand up nice and straight. Okay? Right. Let's go through now what we like to call spinal hygiene exercises. So these exercises help to mobilize all those joints in the spine that I was chatting about. So help to mobilize the neck joints, the mid-back, and the lower back. So we've got those 24 joints in the spine, and by doing the spinal hygiene exercises every single day, it will mean that you've tried to mobilize every single joint to its full maximum motion every day. And obviously that's going to help not just the joints glide better, but help our overall nervous system work better, and therefore our body work at its best. Okay? So I like to do all these standing because it takes the pressure off the back, but obviously you can just do them sitting. I'll show you in a moment if everyone can pull a chair up, we'll go through them sitting as well, because then when you're sitting in the office, you could just do them sitting. Okay? So everyone standing again. Let's go back to our perfect posture, our power pose. And think about, again, that alignment in through our shoulders. So bringing the shoulder blades back and down, chin nicely tucked in. I'm just going to come a bit closer to the camera and kneel so you can see what I'm doing. So starting with our head, we're going to have that chin tucked in. And I want you to rotate over to your right shoulder as far as feels comfortable, keeping the chin tucked in. And we're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Keeping the chin tucked in keeps the correct alignment through the neck. Bring it back to the middle. And then rotate over to the left side. You might find you can go further one way than the other. That can be related to the joints being tight on one side or the muscles being tight on the other side. Bring it back to the middle. Okay, and then we're going to keep the chin tucked in, long through the back of the neck. We're going to drop the right ear down to your right shoulder and feel a stretch down that left side of your neck and your shoulder. You can add to this stretch by holding your left arm behind your back and pulling it down. So you're pulling that arm down to stretch on that side more. Bring your head back to the middle, making sure you're keeping the chin tucked in. Take the head over to the left side and pull the right arm down behind your back to pull that shoulder down even more. This is a great stretch to do just when you're sitting when you've been on the computer for an hour or so, just to stretch out the neck. Bring your head back to the middle. Okay, and then what we're going to do is chin tucked in. We're going to nicely flex the head forwards. Again, having the chin tucked in helps to stretch out the neck or the back even more. come back to the middle, and then looking up. Now, when you do looking up, again, try and keep the chin tucked in. It just helps to support the neck more and bring it back to the middle. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to go through our mid-back stretches now. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arms up into a Y shape, as we call it. So our hands are going to be in this position. So we're opening, rotating them back. Thumbs are pointing backwards. That's it, yep. And we're pulling the shoulder blades together behind us. So we're squeezing our shoulder blades backwards. We're trying to kiss the shoulder blades together. Keep the chin tucked in and squeeze and hold it. Feel it pinching and relax. So we're going to go into a W shape. So we're going to do the same. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep the chin tucked in and squeeze back. You'll feel it stretching through the front of your chest and opening up through that mid-back. Relax. We're going to go into a T position. So arms are now straight. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Thumbs are pointing backwards again. The thumbs are always pointing backwards on these because therefore we're opening up through the shoulder. Otherwise we're going to be rotating around. We're opening up. And then we're going to go into an L shape. So elbows in the side of your body. Chin's tucked in, remember, all the time, and squeeze those shoulder blades back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. So they're the full mobilizations through our mid-back. The Y you'll feel has worked more the upper back here, and the L is working more the mid-back, lower back here. If you're sitting down again in the office and you're hunching those shoulders forward, these exercises really help to open everything up. Okay? Right. We're going to go through into our lower back now. So what we're going to do, I'll do the side first. We're going to bring your right hand, we're going to slide it down one leg to open up through that lower back. You'll feel a lovely stretch on that left side of the body. Again, if you're feeling any pinching, then just ease off. Okay, then roll over to the other side. So left arm nicely down the left leg. Feel that stretch on the right side of the body. Again, just feel for your difference. Does one side feel tighter than the other? Bring it back to the middle. And then if you bring your hands out in front of you, like you're holding onto an imaginary box, and we're going to rotate. So we're going to twist your body around to the right side. Try and make sure your hips are staying straight forwards, and it's just your back and your spine moving. Otherwise, what we tend to do is we twist all the way around through our ankles and our knees, and we're not actually rotating your back at all then. We're really trying to get the rotation through your lower back. Okay, bring it back to the middle and rotate over to the other side. And you're trying to keep your hips straight. And bring it back to the middle. Perfect. Right, we're going to do a roll down going forwards now. So start with your chin, tucking it in. And nice and slowly, we're going to peel down, vertebra by vertebra, opening them up. And going down as far as you feel comfortable. If you can go all the way down and touch the floor, great. If you can just go down to your knees, that's all right. But try and have your head relaxed. The weight of your head will help to stretch through the neck and the spine more so. Okay, roll back up, so nice and slowly and controlled. Each joint one at a time. Going back on top of each other. And then you finish with your neck. And then we're going to extend back. All the way back. And back to the middle. So they are your spinal hygiene exercises. So we've moved the neck, the mid-back and the lower back, moved all the joints to all the full maximum range of movement. So doing that first thing in the morning helps to get the spine ready for the day ahead. If you do it a couple of times during the day and then just last thing at night, it's perfect. It really, really helps to keep a nice healthy spine and nervous system. Okay, right, let's go on to, I like to call it a decompression breath. Our spine, most of the day, if we're doing a lot of sitting or sports, we're compressing the spine. So this breath helps to decompress and open up through the spine. So again, you can do it standing, you can do it sitting as well, but I'll do it standing to show you. So think about your perfect posture, your power pose to start with. And we're going to put your arms above your head. And I like to do this one with your fingers in this position. So you're pressing all your fingers together, you're compressing them together, okay? Okay, so we're going to do a big breath in, And stretch when you're breathing in, stretch your arms as high as you can above your head. You'll feel yourself stretching the whole of your body, and then breathe out. Breathe in again, and when you're breathing in and stretching up, think about expanding your ribs 360 degrees out. So you're expanding your ribs out to the side, you're expanding your chest out this way and this way. So you're breathing all the way in, expanding your ribs, and then breathe out and relax. Breathe in and stretch up even more, and breathe out. Breathe in, stretch up even more, and this time keep your hands up and breathe out. Breathe in, stretch up even more, but try and keep that height when you breathe out. Breathe in again, stretch up even more, but try and keep that height there, and breathe out, and then relax. Okay? So basically, every time you breathe in, you're expanding your rib cage out, and you're stretching up, and every time you breathe out, you're trying to hold up in that position, breathing out, so you're expanding and decompressing each breath. Okay? So just a great quick stretch for the whole of your spine. Okay, let's go on to, it's a little bit more of an advanced exercise, but you'll all be able to manage it. It's called the Founder. It works our posterior chain. So our posterior chain is basically the whole back. So our back of our neck, the mid-back muscles, your lower back muscles, your glutes, your hamstrings. All these muscles are so, so important to have a really strong spine. So what we're going to do, I'll go through it a couple of times so we've got it. I'll do it on the side so you can see me. Start in your perfect posture again. And what we're going to do is we're going to hinge the hips back. So you're going to just push your hips backwards, as if you're going to sit down on something behind you. What you need to make sure is that your knees are staying on top of your ankles, that your knees are not coming in front of your ankles. That's very important. So I'm not squatting as such, I'm just hinging back with my hips. So you have a slight bend in your knees. What we're going to do then is bring our arms back in this position. So we're pulling them back and down, and we're looking straight ahead. So you're getting a nice curve in your back here, okay? The more you pull your arms back and down, the more you'll feel those muscles engaging in your back. It shouldn't feel painful. If it feels painful, come out of it, but you should feel it, okay? From that position, we're going to stretch your arms all the way up towards your ears. And the further forward, the further you push them backwards, the more you'll feel it in these muscles here, okay? And then come out of it. And that's your stretch. So it's not just a stretch, but it's a strengthening exercises for those muscles as well. Again, doing that once a day, it's such a good workout for those muscles. Okay? Right, if everyone's got a chair, grab your chair and we'll do some sitting exercises as well. If you don't have a chair, that's okay. Just sit on the floor, crossing your legs or kneeling. Or if you don't want to do that, just stay standing, okay? Just make sure you can see me. Right, so first of all, let's just go through how our posture should be when we're sitting. Let's just think about your feet first. Your feet should be flat on the floor. So many of us, and I hold my hands up for this too, we cross our knees over one another, we cross our ankles over, we put our feet behind our chair legs. All this messes up with our pelvis. As soon as we start crossing our ankles and our knees, it twists the pelvis and we're going to start to get issues going on in our pelvis and our low back. So feet should be directly flat on the floor, and ideally the chair should be at the height so our hip is slightly higher than our knees. So if our chair's a little too low, what we'll see is our knee will be higher than our hip, and that's going to therefore make us slump. That's a lot of car seats make us slump because they're low. A nice big gym ball is great to sit on because it's nice and high and it keeps us upright. Okay? So think about our lower back. We want to have a nice curve going inwards here. We don't want that curve, like a C curve going this way. We want to maintain that lovely curve in our lower back, pulling those shoulders back and down and chin tucks in. The keyboard or your mouse should be in this zone, keeping your elbows in the side of your body. If your mouse is all the way over here, or your keyboard's over here, you're going to be slouching. You're going to be rotating one shoulder around. So everything should be in this zone here. Okay, that's your perfect posture when you're sitting. So the spinal hygiene exercises we've just gone through, the neck ones, the mid-back exercise and the lower back ones, you can do all of those sitting. Just going through the neck ones easily, these ones are really easy to do, and the lower back ones, rolling forwards, going side to side and going backwards, they're easy to do. Research shows we should be getting up from a seated position every 30 to 40 minutes anyway. And even if we get up for 1 minute, it makes so much difference by taking the pressure off our spine. So ideally, try and stand up to do those exercises. All right. One last thing I wanted to show you was, we like to call it a wall angel. You can also do it on the floor, and it's called floor angel. I'm going to just show you on the chair first. So what it is your arms are going to be, let me twist around this way, in this position here. And you want to think about your shoulder blades stuck to the back of your ribs, and we're going to bring your elbows down towards your waist, but think about the movement on your shoulder blades on the back. So you want your shoulder blades to come around those ribs. Again, think about your posture when you're doing it. So chin's tucked in, and we're gliding those shoulder blades down, down, down. Okay? The reason it's good to do it against the wall is because we can feel the alignment when we're doing it. So we want to try and make sure that your elbows are flat up against the wall, your elbows are against the wall, our head is against the wall, our mid-back's against the wall. And when we bring those arms down, everything is sliding against the wall, nothing's coming off. So again, this is a great exercise to do a few times to get some mobilization happening through those shoulder blades, the rib joints, and the mid-back. Okay? Brilliant. Right, we are done. What's the time? We've got 5 minutes of questions, if anyone's got any questions. Does everyone feel all right? Perfect. Has everyone done those types of exercises before, or is any of them new for you?
No, they're new. They're new for me. But I can feel a real difference now. It feels great.
Where do you feel the difference?
At the bottom of my back. It's very sensitive at the bottom. I think when I was pregnant, my baby's quite heavy. I hurt the back of my back. So the exercise that you did to strengthen that, I was quite interested in, and I can feel it pulling now. Yeah,
but hopefully in a good way. Years ago, we were all told, we have to strengthen our abs for a good, strong core, but it's totally the wrong information. Our back muscles should be double as strong as those tummy muscles. So by doing loads of stomach crunches all the time, all that really does is weaken our back. So that's why the foundation training exercises help to strengthen the posterior chain, that lower back core muscles. And it's so good for any back issues that we've got going on, but also to prevent things as well. I see a lot of pregnant ladies, and those exercises can be done in pregnancy as well to help with throughout the pregnancy and birth as well, which is good. Yeah. Fantastic. If you go on to foundationtraining.com, there's a whole website about all those exercises. So you can go on that website. They've got lots of YouTube videos as well. I do, at the moment, through this lockdown, I started to do a Zoom class, stretch class every Friday. So I'm sure Ruth will share the Zoom ID call, but you're all welcome to join me. It's all free. I do it from my living room. And we go through more advanced foundation training exercises. So if you like them, join tomorrow. We're doing them at 5 o'clock every Friday.
Great.
All right. Cool.
Definitely. I'm just sharing the screen now.
Sorry,
I think Katie had a question.
Thank you very much for that. Jess, I just have one question about the pelvic tilt. You were talking about the nice curve inwards in your back when you're sitting, but how do you know if that curve is too much? Is there a way you can kind of tell if you've got too much of a pelvic tilt?
So you mean if you've got too much of a curve going inwards here? Yeah. So, well, let me show you the spine. Naturally, we should all have a curved spine. So when I first started chiropractic college, I thought you had we should all have a very straight spine, but naturally we have 4 curves in our back. So we have a curve in our neck, very important. We have a curve in our mid-back, going the other way, a curve in our lower back, what we're just talking about now, and a curve in our sacrum going the other way. And that helps to keep the center of gravity nice and straight, and helps to keep equal pressures going down through all the joints. So yes, we should have a curve in the back, but how do we know if it's too much or too little? Having it assessed, you'll know for sure. Sometimes we can definitely be hypermobile in that area, and that causes us to be more lordotic, and that's going to therefore put more pressure through those sacroiliac joints here and through those mid-back, so those joints in our lower back here. What's good to do is just to tilt your pelvis. I'll show you if you want to, actually. Let me get the chair. Bring the chair a bit closer so you can see. So if you all put your hands on your pelvis, so your front of your fingers on the front of your hip, not your hip, but your pelvis bones here, and then you wrap your thumbs around the back, and then if you all slump to make that really big C shape here, yeah, and then if you then take it to the full extreme the other way, and then push it really forward, so you're tilting the pelvis this way and this way. The perfect posture is halfway between that. And that should have a nice slight curve in there. Okay? We take x-rays sometimes in the practice, and sometimes people, especially gymnasts, ballet dancers, when they've been doing it from a very young age, you can have a slight slippage forwards in the lower back, and that can cause a very hyperlordotic spine as well. So there can be reasons for it. Some people are just hypermobile and can cause it. But if you strengthen those back muscles, often it can reduce. Okay?
Great, thank you.
All right.
Did anyone else have any other questions at all?
I did, yes. So do you have any tips for a right, how to say it, a right angle for the wrist when you are at your computer, so it's not too bent, so that you don't develop carpal tunnel, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, that is a good point. So like I said about the alignment through your body, if your elbows are down, try again. If the elbows are down by your waist and your seat is nicely in towards your desk, and this is where your computer keyboard is and your mouse, then therefore that should help to keep it straighter, compared to when it's further away, it can have to come up more. Sometimes it depends on how high the mouse is as well. If the mouse is really high, obviously, yeah, you're going to get that angle. So sometimes you can get some supports that go on in front of the mouse just to keep you at a right angle. But really, it's more about your alignment where the mouse is.
Or should I try and keep my wrist straight then?
Yes. However, if you're then having to use those muscles all the time to try and keep it up and off, then you're going to start to get tension through there. So sometimes it is good to have your arm relaxed on that the front of the desk, so you're not having to contract those muscles all the time.
Okay. Thank you.
So, for example, if your chair's it's hard to do it without a desk here, but if your chair's all the way back and your desk starts here, and you've just got the computer keyboard at the edge and you're not resting your forearm on the desk, then yeah, you're going to start to cause that tension developing. Whereas if the chair's in towards the desk, then your forearm can rest on the desk, and that will help with that too. Okay, Flora?
All right, thank you.
That's okay. Anyone else?
No.
All good? Well, hopefully you all feel energized, because moving your spine gets the nervous system stimulated, gets your brain wired up nicely. So hopefully you all feel nice and ready for the rest of the day and the evening, and that cortisol levels have dropped and other happy hormones have increased. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.